Hi, and welcome to another exciting edition of Scarlet Betch. I'm Jason.
And I'm Anthony.
So this week we're going to be covering the latest and greatest in queer comic book news. So I think to start us off, we're going to start off with some quick shout-outs. Anthony, you had like a bazillion things you wanted to shout out.
I had a bazillion things that I'd read. So let's do some quick shoutouts. Let's be like, House of Mystery. You were cool. You finally had Tursik. It was great. He had some cute interactions with this super powerful character with a really simplistic mindset. That's not trite. It's actually my favorite kind of character. But it was kind of token. He was like the straight man, so I wouldn't classify it as development. But it was fun to see him again. It was nice. I always haven't been covering Starman and Justice League of America, but he's totally identified as gay now, so totes legitimate, not even pan-queer. He's I am right at the front of this giant acronym that we have.
How did they handle that coming out?
What?
How did they handle that coming out? Was it just BT Dubs guys, I totally love the cots?
Oh no, you remember Cry for Justice? That whole horrible storyline where they basically murdered a whole bunch of people and cut off Roy Harper's arm and it was bad. Yeah. That started out with him and Congorilla, their significant others, getting totally murdered. So, good thing we didn't have a lady and a gay in the refrigerator, because that would be horrible crap we did. Also, New Mutants kept it real with some Victoria hand action. That's disgusting sounding. And I just want to talk about Schism.
Yeah, what did you want to talk about?
I want to talk about how it's interesting that they're making Wolverine the sensitive one who keeps it real with the teams, and it's only because he's not any of the leaders discussing important things upstairs.
Yeah,
but
I also think it's also weird how I think it's weird I that the X-Men suit up in their superhero uniforms to go to a peace talk, you know, is it shouldn't you be in your civvies?
I thought you were gonna say weird that they were suiting up in their superhero uniforms to stay at home and eat ice cream, and I was actually no, that's not weird. That's normal.
Yeah. Also, I am not really. I mean, I know that every time a new teenage girl sidekick for Wolverine comes around, there's she gets all this hate. But I am not really for this whole E-Day Wolverine matchup. I don't really
see. I don't understand why she cops all the hate when I think it's dumb that it's always Wolverine. Guys, you have other characters.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they don't. All the ladies don't need to be dry humping Wolverine.
Exactly. Yeah.
No. But I do like his relationship with Hope only because it's an echo of his relationship with Jean, which I actually didn't like. But I do love that it's she's tough as nails, Jean, and she's just make it quick.
Yeah.
Cool, be tough as nails.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like about Hope is that she never seems to actually I always feel she forgets how her powers work.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I totally forget that she has powers, and so many writers do. And when there was that Uncanny X-Men one where she was she was fighting the commando guy, and then suddenly she was I have a healing factor because Wolverine's right nearby. I was oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But I remember when she was fighting, I can't remember what, but she was just running all around and crazy shit. And I'm don't I mean Laura's nearby. You can borrow her flight power. It was
well, and that's the other thing, right? Because she gets the powers, but does she get the physical mutations? Because if she's around Laura, shouldn't she turn blue?
Yeah. Well, I think she has to activate her mimicry. I don't know. I don't know think about it too hard.
No.
But, yeah.
Why not? Yeah. Whatever. And then I also wanted to talk about the Legion of Superheroes in Adventure Comics. Power Boy and Gravity Kid, their relationship is totally out front. They're basically it's hard to have a long.
What's with all the purple gay people in in DC? I feel I feel everyone in DC Comics was wait, Marvel has all these gay green kids. Let's make all our gay guys purple. Let's do it.
Well, I mean, Mystique is blue, and Anolia and Teddy are green. So, okay, in Marvel, lesbians are blue. Oh, Destiny only wore blue, so lesbians are blue, and the gay guys are green. Oh, but Carla had pink hair once. She was, yeah. Oh, she's an outlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Who else is purple?
Starman
Oh, he's
and...
blue.
Oh, he's blue? Oh, sorry, I thought he was purple.
He might have purple hair. I think it's red hair. Well, whatever. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
I also noticed that there aren't like a whole lot of like gay men who are like kind of big hitters in DC. It's all, lesbian ladies.
DC, their big hitters are so because they have so many solo characters and they're all so entrenched in the past that like they're all just white guys.
Yeah.
Like straight white guys, and it's like I understand why you're straight white guys, but like I mean you're born into privilege. It's not something that you seek out. But can we reboot and be like, and now the Flash is black?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. And now the Flash is Latino. It's good, right?
Yeah.
Stereotypes.
El Flasho.
Totally. I support El Flasho.
Is there anything else you want to talk about Gravity Kid and Power Boy? Other than that they're adorable?
They're so adorable.
Yeah.
The art in that issue was crazy all over the place. I think they switched artists halfway through. Half the shots of Gravity Kid are awesome, and you're like, that's the best, and the other half are like, this is horrible.
I have a lot of questions about Gravity Kid, and they all revolve around his hair. Like, I'm not entirely sure, like...
Oh god, his hair was so bad in this issue.
It's like...
People don't know how to do it.
I can't tell if it's, like, his, 5 o'clock shadow that also extends to his head.
That's what I assume it is.
But it's weird that, because you can, if it's a 5 o'clock shadow, you would assume that he, shaves his head or whatever, right? But then,
I assume that he trims it methodically.
I just don't really understand what's going on with his face. But I approve of his chest hair. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Evidently, in the 26th century, gay men don't wax anymore, so that's awesome.
Gay men don't wax now. It's called being a bear.
Okay, fine, whatever. I also wanted to shout out Birds of Prey, just because we get Zinda Blake fighting Nazis, and that's always a fun time. Woo, Zinda! I
hope Zinda's in the reboot.
Yeah, that's sad. And also Huntress is not in the reboot either.
No, she is. She gets her own limited series.
No, but she's not in Birds of Prey.
Oh, well. Because that's the thing, because the Blackhawks are getting their own series in the reboot. It's one of the war titles. And so I'm like, Zinda can be there. But they have two ladies, neither of whom is blonde, one of whom blows bubblegum. So I'm like, maybe that's Zinda?
But yeah, that's all I really had to say. There was other stuff with, Phantom Lady, who I thought was Silk Spectre for a second. Like, wait, I'm so confused. But, yeah, so... Didn't really care all that much, so... They were Nazis. They were fun to kick ass.
Kick their ass!
But speaking of, big hitters who are also homo, Alpha Flight Fear Itself, #2, came out by Greg Pak and Van Lente. On the art. Evidently, Canada has been overtaken by subversive forces, and crazy bitches.
Yeah.
What I thought was funny was, the whole thing starts off in this, court scene about Guardian and Vindicator's, daughter who was, was put in the care of, distant cousins because they had died. Now that they're back from the dead, they're petitioning for her return. And it's just this is not a safe environment for children to be raised, so you're not getting your kid back. Which I totally agree with. I don't think the superheroes really should, be able to have children. Sorry, guys.
That's why they don't, right? Well, that's why they all have to have them in dystopian futures, where...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or their children are Frank and Richards. And someone still needs to explain to me why they gave him his powers back, because now they have to destroy him.
Again. Why can't they do something like, his powers are burned out? Ugh. Sorry, in New Mutants they just brought X-Men back, and they were like, his powers are burned out, so he just has residual telekinesis. And I was like, how long is that gonna last? 5 issues?
Yeah, exactly. But what I thought was funny is he he after being scolded by the judge for being too this is Guardian, after being scolded by the judge for being too above the law, and he needs to understand that he is subject to the law like every other person. His response to that is to take off his civvies with the superhero suit underneath, charge up and bust through the window, burn a hole through the window of the courthouse. And that's a rational way to respond, and that's sure to get your kid back. Come on, guy.
Totally. Look at that guy. He's so willing. He's so passionate about getting his child back. He's willing to destroy public property. Yeah. I didn't understand. Looking back over the issue, I did not get that the time switch, and I had to reread that page. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Now. It's now.
Yeah.
I'm scared for Kyle.
I am super scared for Kyle.
That's all I had to say.
Although I think it will be some kind of weird not irony, but if Kyle ends up without the use of his legs, just Ultimate Northstar ended up without the use of his legs, that would be really kind of cruel.
Yeah. Well, my thought was, are they gonna have to save Kyle by giving him superpowers?
Oh, I don't want a superpowered Kyle. I like the whole
the Lois Lane.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Kyle and the Resistance, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
What about Puck? This was some crazy shit.
Yeah.
So did he rule in hell, or is he crazy?
So I didn't read any of the Wolverine Goes to Hell stuff because I really could care less about Wolverine, especially in hell. And I didn't get why Puck was there. So
is Puck?
What?
In that?
Yeah, evidently.
Oh.
I think I read somewhere that Puck was in Wolverine Goes to Hell.
Okay, well then he's telling the truth.
Yeah, so Wolverine was in so Puck was in one of the circles of hell for some reason and helped Wolverine while he was there. But I'm not clear on how he got out, and I'm not even clear what Puck's powers are other than being bouncy.
Puck was a normal-sized man who was a super good gymnast. Sorry, normal-sized man. And then he got shrunk down into a tiny man, but he retained the proportional strength and agility of being a giant man. I don't think it's very good power.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense.
No,
so
it's
just okay, whatever.
But now he's a demon lord! Yeah! He's like magic, but for Alpha Flight.
Yeah, also his character design is really shitty. Guys, we have a character named Puck. What are we gonna do with him? Well, we could go, we could go referencing his, Shakespeare and Puck, Puck. Or, we could just put a P on him. Let's just put a P on him. That's great.
Totally. Yeah, because they're not supposed to be stereotypes. Aurora and Northstar Quebecois, and so they're effed up. And Marina's from I was gonna say from the East Coast. She's American. That's the stereotype. She's a fisherman type. Uh-huh. And then Snowbird.
Is there none of it?
I guess. Because that's the thing. Because Talisman is First Nations, right?
Yeah, she is.
The First Nations character, and I mean Kyle now too. And then who's from? Maybe Snowbird's from BC. Maybe she's the hippie chick out there.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And Sasquatch is what? The prairies?
Yeah, maybe.
And is Puck Alberta?
Maybe he's Calgary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Except then his daughter was from Montreal, and it was what?
Yeah. I try not to think too hard about it. But I also didn't know that Aurora was sexually assaulted and abused as a child. I didn't get that memo at all.
When they went through the original Alpha Flight, Aurora's just been busted up.
Yeah.
People just wail on her. She is kind of a prime example of misogyny in comics. Mm-hmm. Because of her split personality, and they're just all so drastic. So all the storylines around her are so drastic. It's a headache to read her character description on Uncanny X-Men or on Wikipedia. Yeah, Uncanny X-Men Batman. Plug.
So, I guess the moral of the story is, so Department H has all of that Alpha Flight, locked up in some kind of psionic prison hallucination machine. And Aurora is going to be brainwashed yet again to be something horrible, which can only,
Right? It's like, instead of doing the thing that we did last time, why don't we do something different?
Yeah, exactly.
Idea? No, scrap that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Green Lantern was reborn. He wasn't reinvented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's all I had to say about Alpha Flight.
Let's talk about Batgirl.
Yeah, let's talk about Batgirl.
WTF about the Grey Ghost? Right? I didn't see that one coming.
Nope.
Last
I
issue.
thought they were building him up for some kind of thing,
Well, I mean, because this is, I don't know if I just froze, but this is clearly their DCNU crap. We have to tie this storyline up real quick.
Well, no, I think it had been announced some time ago that Brian Q. Miller, who's writer on Batgirl, that Batgirl hasn't been selling well, and Batgirl was going to be discontinued after this arc.
Okay.
So.
Well, then it could be an end of the arc thing. Yeah. There's a reason why Stephanie Miller is not continuing on as Batgirl, but the characters in the story say we're rushing the plan, and the Grey Ghost, who had been slowly building as a character, is suddenly dead. It's okay, clearly someone stepped in and was now we're going to change the direction of this whole thing.
Yeah, totally. I also, I miss Dustin Nguyen on the art. Although this art isn't horrible, but I just am a big fan of Dustin in general. And I really like the big super team up that she puts together of all the Supergirls. I think that's really awesome, and I think Supergirl mentions oh, we should make this team up more often. I'm yes, please.
Yeah, exactly. I love it because it's such a Justice League moment, and it's all the girls. It's cool, do it. Yeah, exactly. But I guess you'd have to do it super twee to sell to the hipster ladies.
Yeah.
But you can do that. Totally. Lois Lane, Girl Detective.
Okay, so that's all I had to say about Batgirl.
Totally. Yeah, no, it was good. I like that. I like the ending. I like the big surprise reveal at the end. I hope that Stephanie Brown gets to be spoiler in the new DCNU and kick ass.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
But just some other random superhero gossip. So Wonder Woman pants or no pants? Because I'm so confused. Because Mary Sue, which is a great kind of feminist girl nerd website, posted this article about how DC had changed. Wonder Woman is back to her bathing suit costume because they had changed they edited the image on the solicit to reflect that. So now she has her star-spangled bottoms. Now, evidently, she is. The solicit for number 2 came out, and now she has pants again. And you're like, what the fuck? And you're like, it's really confusing.
Okay, guys, the answer is simple. Keep the pants.
Yeah, I'm pro pants.
Pro pants.
I was not pro stirrup pants from 600, but I do like these pants. Because I guess they're taking I'm not sure for who's taking a nod from who, but her costume is much more reminiscent of what she was wearing in the failed NBC show.
She had 3 costumes though in that one, and so I'm are we just gonna have lots of different costumes for Wonder Woman? In which case, okay, fine, I guess we can go with that. But can we stick with the pants most often? Because I like the pants.
I'm okay with multiple costumes for Wonder Woman. It's kind of a thing that she's been doing ever since the whole Terry Dodson run, but Gail Simone run. But that was she would put on her armor, and then that was awesome. I don't know why she had to have those big metal wings when she could fly without them, but I guess they're just ceremonial. But yeah. So
yeah, no, definitely keep the pants. Lose this. I mean, Star Spangled Bottoms just look awkward, guys.
Yeah. Also, am I the only one who's really excited about Ultimate Comics coming back? Because I never thought this would happen again. Because Ultimate Comics, especially Ultimate X-Men, got so weird and stupid, and like I hated it by the time it was ending. And Ultimatum is an abortion of a comic book. It's like just the most terrible thing ever.
I bought it. I bought it all. It's terrible. I read every single terrible word. Every one.
The only thing you need to know about that comic is that the Blob eats Dazzler. Yes. He ate her.
That was the worst. The worst. When I turned the page and looked at that, no, does he eat Dazzler? He eats Janet. He eats the Wasp.
Oh yeah, that's right. He eats the Wasp. Dazzler drowns or something.
Yeah, Dazzler and Angel and Nightcrawler drown off panel. So it's like, oh yeah, and then they were dead. And it's like, what? Yeah. Hey, I love those characters. My brother hated Ultimate Dazzler, but I think she was amazing.
Ultimate Dazzler was awesome.
Right? She was like Leela Cheney plus Dazzler. It was perfect. It was perfect. And then Janet, and then eating. He wasn't a cannibal.
Yeah.
No, not once was he a cannibal.
Yeah.
Any.
So today, Marvel released a preview for the new Ultimate X, or it's not called Ultimate X-Men. It's called like X-Men Ultimate or Ultimate Comics X-Men. So there's some. It's not called like, Ultimate X-Men or whatever. They changed the name.
Yeah. And it's not Ultimate X either, which was that 5-issue run that they just finished.
Yeah.
And so it looks like it's coming out of that because Wolverine is still the same character, but no other character is the same. I say Wolverine is the same character because I looked at the cover and I'm like, that has to be Wolverine's son.
No, I mean, it's the new X-Men lineup is going to be Wolverine, Shadowcat, Human Torch for some strange reason. I'm not really quite sure why.
Because there's no Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah, but he's not really a mutant either.
Well, he's friends with them. Because in Ultimate Spider-Man, they were all friends.
Yeah, it's true. And then I can't remember, there's one more person on that team. I can't remember who.
Iceman, Shadowcat.
Oh, yeah, Iceman.
Human Torch, and it's not Wolverine because Wolverine's dead. It's Wolverine's son, also Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
He's blonde with blue eyes because that's not boring, and his bones can turn into metal.
Okay.
And he has thoughts.
So the reason why I was really excited about it was because Ultimate Colossus is in the preview. And it begs the question, like, where's Ultimate Northstar? Because everyone was like, because for a while, in Error, Marvel had like there was like an Ultimate Requiem for like the fallout of Ultimatum, and Northstar had incorrectly been listed as one of those who have been deceased. And everyone went crazy, like, wait, Ultimate Northstar, is he actually dead? Because he wasn't with everybody else, and he was like, somewhere else. But then, so, Marvel officially cleared it up and was like, actually, JK guys, Ultimate Northstar is completely fine. Ultimate Colossus, they're making babies somewhere. But in this issue, we see Ultimate Colossus imprisoned somewhere being electrocuted, and it's really sad and scary, and I like my JK Colossus.
And that's the other thing, because in Ultimate X number 5, we saw him and Ultimate Storm in these containment tubes. Being suspended and being held captive, and then there was another shot of Ultimate Rogue at some point. It was a voiceover talking about the state of the world. Just had random shots of like where the other mutants were.
Because Ultimate Rogue makes an appearance in this one too, in the preview, and she also seems to have super strength, which I'm like, when did Ultimate Rogue get super strength? I'm like, maybe they're redoing the Miss Marvel scenario, which would kind of be really stupid and annoying because the whole point of Ultimate Comics is to do something new. Speaking of something new in Ultimate Comics, I'm actually really excited about the new Spider-Man. I'm glad that they actually killed Peter Parker. Not that I dislike Peter Parker, but I think it's still going to be really exciting what they do with a new Spider-Man.
Who's new Spider-Man? Miguel?
I have no idea.
I bet it's Miguel. From 2099.
Oh yeah, that's right. That would be cool.
Super cool. Because it's his costume, isn't it? I don't know. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye.
It looks different. I mean, like it has 2099 thing aspects, but it's not the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all for this issue of Scarlet Betch. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week for another great issue.